Hello. I know watching my video back last night, of course, I noticed that after I recorded an hour's worth of stuff that my audio was very low. I don't know what's going on with this. Everything's turned up. I don't want to overdrive stuff, but maybe I need to do a big retuning again. Of course, I'm just running in from work. You think one day life would calm down, but I'm supposed to be an 8 to 4 employee, but nobody feels sorry for me. I hope everybody's doing well. I can hear myself. Let's see where that's coming from. How about now? Welcome back to another live. It's been very hit and miss. I see I got 5 people in here. Welcome. Make sure you hit the like button. Um, very look, I appreciate everybody's being patient with me. I swear I have not abandoned crypto. I know they're gonna have people say that, if people even give two shits about anything I say or care or anything like that. But on the servers it would appear like that. I'm not in my Discord nowhere like I was. Um, I really thought after Mardi Gras my life would calm down. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. It's just one rolling cluster foxtrot into to another one, and a lot of it I bring on myself. I have really dove deep into this mesh core thing, and I enjoy putting up kind of like ham. I enjoy putting up like systems around and connecting state. We're gonna look a little bit at some of that later, but that's taken up some more time. But my daughter's softball has been my priority. I'm trying not to miss any kind of game, um, and I don't know how I'm gonna take that at the end of the season. So I'm preparing yourself that I'm gonna be a hot mess or ugly mess or whatever that term you want to be for fat ugly men. Um, so I have a lot of life stuff going on right now. We got a big sportsman show coming up in 2 weeks down here. So I rolled from Mardi Gras to now preparing for that. I'm in charge of security for that. So it's just there's a lot of stuff going on. Let's be honest. DPIN in crypto is not lighting the world on fire by any means at all. So um I've always said that while I understand the YouTube algorithm by now, after being on this channel for 4 years now, 3 years, whatever it's been, this is kind of like almost my anniversary coming up. I got to figure out, unfortunately, I don't know when the first crypto videos started coming out because I had to delete them because of the previous project that I was in that we called the previous project, but D scam. And because of even though I had their full permission to make videos. And when I was promoting their product, they loved it. And as soon as I would start calling out the scam and scaring people, they did trademark infringements against me with YouTube, and YouTube sided with them. So I had to go and pull all those videos down so I didn't lose my channel. Um, but it was about that time, about 3 years ago. Has it been about 3 years? Yep. I discovered Deep Fly, and right after that, Wingbits. It's been about this long. Um, Maybe April, June that I got into Wingbits. Um, so like I said, I understand the YouTube algorithm. I understand I should be uploading videos all the time. Every day, you should be uploading something, whether it's a short, whether it's a YouTube, a full video, or anything like that. And y'all know I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to bore y'all with that. Um, it's not that I'm busy because some nights it's easy. It's nice just to be able to come home and sit back with my dog on the couch. My wife's always doing work. She's assistant principal trying to become a principal at a local school. So she's always doing work. But me and my dog and a drink and watching TV. I tell you all the time, watching westerns or watching something um on old movies on Pluto. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it's been kind of nice not having to come into the YouTube grumpy studio every single night trying to come up with something. But I do miss doing videos. But again, I don't want to do videos just to do videos. What am I going to do videos on? Tonight we're going to talk about some stuff with GeoDNet. I find that my views have gone down a lot, but I don't know if it's because we all know the game. YouTube's not going to push my channel out. It's not going to notify people if you don't have the little bell. A lot of people don't have the bell. Hell, I subscribe to 40 channels and I don't have the bell. I don't want to be notified every time something new comes out, but I'm subscribed. But so I don't know if YouTube's just not pushing my stuff out because I'm only doing, one recorded video about every other week. Because I just don't think I need to be doing weekly update videos when there's no updates going on. I started to do a video last week. I got probably, I don't know, 10 minutes into it. And when I started looking at the projects, I'm like, there's nothing's updated. Why am I doing this video? Um, and then I do one live a week because my daughter's softball. I'm going to softball games. So I'm looking at my video today and I'm like, I had to go back and make sure that I set it to be released this morning at 8 a.m. I did it a little bit earlier than normal just because I haven't did anything in a while. And I got some views, but nowhere the views I used to. I don't know if people are pissed at me or, like I said, when crypto starts going down and sideways and boring, people ain't looking for YouTube videos. I know that I'm not the most exciting person to sit here and watch, especially for an hour video, but knowing people will still have some kind of comments about the projects that I discuss. Some people like to argue or try to look at it from their side of point of view. And I appreciate that. I like the comments, when they're not derogatory or attacking. I like to see the comments and see, I don't know it all. I'm just kind of going off of what I'm seeing on X about these projects and what I'm seeing on Discord about those projects or what people in my Discord are telling me about those projects. And hey, look, I might miss things. I don't ever lie. I'm basically reading it and kind of interpreting it. And sometimes I might interpret it wrong, but I'm still reading it straight from the Discord. So, um, yeah, I just thought that I'm like, man, did I even press, you know, for the video to be released at 8 a.m. because I didn't see nothing going on with it. Um, but we're gonna talk about a couple of different things tonight. Um, I don't know. So how's everybody? So happy birthday to Kevin Hawthorne. I wanted to wait till we got a few more people in there to say that. Um, I don't sing happy birthday, so I'm sorry. If I still have my little party hat, I'd wear it just for you. I got a happy new year hat. Is that close enough to happy birthday for you? So happy birthday to Kevin if you're still in here and you sat through my rant. Or my opening dialogue. Um, but yeah, so just pretend that Happy New Year also means happy birthday in Lakeland, Florida. So congratulations to you, man. Um, you get a different outlook on birthdays as you get older. It's weird. Um, so get in deep in. Now 619, this isn't opposites day. And I know you did not vote for get in deep in. There ain't no way. Um, again, if y'all watch my video on this morning, I this poll question, I circled around it like a crop duster and just confused myself. Um, Look, I guess once you kind of, I don't know if I want to say burned, but in the last bear market, I sat here and made this cool, um, and I've showed it before, but me and my buddies came up with this crypto, um, about Google Drive, and I shared it with them of all these tokens and how much they were down during this bear market and which ones were down over 90% since all-time high. I'm trying to find it. That shows you how long it's been since I have played with it. Um, And again, and you look at some of these dates, and 2023. This is 2022. Look at Bitcoin, man. Bitcoin's 28,000, 16,000. And as it went on, so June 22nd of 2024, a year and 9 months ago, I guess. Look at what big Bitcoin. Bitcoin 64,000. Vet was 2.5 cents. Atom was $6. ADA was 37 cents. BNB was 585. Solana was $134. So I mean, you had tokens higher in 2024, 2 years ago, than you have now. When you can go back to March, Bitcoin was 71,000. And my point is what I would do is I didn't keep all the columns, but every so often I updated it, and I figured out what the difference was. And some tokens that were down 90%, we would buy into, and we thought we were slick. We thought we were going to have it made. We sat here. I kind of said what I would. I'm hodling, buy more, not purchase, but I'm holding it just because I minded at some point. Um, and some tokens that I would tell them I wouldn't touch. And this was just tokens that they would always ask, my friends would ask me about, because they would see YouTube videos about it and stuff like that. But, again, you look at where we're at now. Do I want to sit here and load up on alts again? Like I said, I hate to use the word burned, but during that whole bear market, what was it 2021-ish, 2022, something like that, all the way through 2025, we were buying alts, nothing else. Bitcoin, no Bitcoin. No, or there maybe some whiff when I did a video on whiff. Whiff was really my first time buying a meme coin when I did that video right day before Christmas, or 2 days before Christmas, was about 2 years ago. But this is what I was buying. I was buying Cardano and Atom, Vet. I already had a good amount of BNB. Solana. Using my my card for Crow. If we are really going in this bear market, like some people are saying, I don't know if I want to. It's hard for me to tell people, man, just strictly get, buy Bitcoin, because I know it's gonna happen. Bitcoin's gonna do like this kind of steady up type thing, or whatever it's gonna do. And then, because alts didn't move this time, it's gonna blow up next time. Not financial advice. Or you listen to some people, and I know I'm regurgitating what I say every week, and I apologize, but it is what it is. You have some people who say, because of the sheer amount craziness of how many alts we got, money is going into Bitcoin. You have the stock people, and we wanted the stock people and the banks and all this stuff like that to get into it and adopt Bitcoin. They're doing it through the ETFs, whatever you want to call it, manipulating, or they're selling. They're getting profits, and then they're selling. And they're not touching alt. Does that mean in the future you're not going to see a big alts purchase? I'm kind of leaning towards that. Now, do I think Solana will never see $100 again, or whatever it's at now, $200 again? I'm not saying that. You're not going to hear me say that, but I mean, you got Bitcoin at the 68,000, which is about where it was last night when I did my video. It came down, went back up. Ethereum's like 1,000 less than what is on that sheet right there. Ethereum was $3,800 on that sheet. At the end of that sheet that I just showed, 2,000 right now. Crow 7 cents here. On that sheet, it was 15 cents and then 9 cents. And Vet, even though my fat head's in the way, trust me when I tell you it's at 7.007 cents right now. I don't know. Work texting me. So part of me says Bitcoin's the only thing possibly going up. Do you believe still we're going to have cycles? You watch some YouTubers, people who know way more than me, saying we're still going to have some kind of cycles. Some people saying we're not. Some people can say we only have an alt. So Bitcoin cycles. And I don't know. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. So according to trusty Google, I can tell you what Google says. 619 want to know when was the last bear market. So you had your peak of 2021. You had the FTX collapse, but if I'm not mistaken, the Luna collapse happened before FTX, didn't it? And then the FTX was kind of like that the nail in the coffin. 2023, January 2023, you were at 17,000, and that's when you started coming back up. So like at what point do you really consider this? At what point do you really consider this getting out the bear market? Um, because you got to remember, you were under 2,000 until the end of 2023 in Ethereum. And wasn't that when he started talking about ETF or the 2024? I don't remember. Um, the first Bitcoin ETF was January of 2024. See, that's when I kind of remember us going kind of ballistic. January 2024. Mm, which was around here. So yeah, I remember it being about this 40,000. Next thing you know, we're up to 70,000. So this is kind of when Bitcoin kind of went ballistic. Um, you went up 86% in 3 months, basically. January, not even 3 months, really 2.5 months. Went up 90%. That was that. We didn't see that from you didn't see that from everything else. Well, I guess you kind of did. That was that. Solana, they started talking about look at Solana. You had Solana hit $123 in December, came to January, and then March. It went up too. If you want to call it a bear, beginning of the bear market, whatever. I mean, bull market, whatever you want to call it. Us getting out the bear, I kind of agree with that. Let's see. When was the Terra Luna crash was 2022. Uh, Trying to see when exact date. 2020, end of 2022. And the lunar collapse was May. So that's kind of your time frame. uh, 2022. So that's that's what triggered. So but I've always thought, again, I don't know anything about this this cycle type thing, because we had stuff that triggered us going into a bear market. We had two major events. So I don't know what you know so I'm sorry. So we had things that triggered that. Do we, if we don't get that again, do we have this hard pull? We just did, but it wasn't like a holy hell event. I don't know. My wife came in about something with my dog, and I totally lost my train of thought. But anyway, I don't know. My point is, you're hearing more and more about all the stuff that's going on right now. Is Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. You have retail Bitcoin. You have stock people into Bitcoin. You have whales into Bitcoin, and they're strictly messing with Bitcoin. So yes, while it might be a little more volatile, I can see. Do you see Bitcoin going back to 100,000, or do you see alts going back to where they were when Bitcoin was 100,000? Because what we've seen recently is, and what I've seen is that Bitcoin going back up, alts ain't moving. So I don't know. I don't know. Y'all still with me? So what else? What else? So going back to what I was saying earlier, I'm sorry I haven't been that much on my Discord or anything like that. I'm looking around right now. I'm glad 619 and 120. Some of these guys have picked up the slack for me, and I appreciate it. Just still talking about a couple different things, Jay Styles and them. Look, I appreciate it. Um, part of me, again, looks. I told you all this in the video this morning. I hate to rehash everything again, but I know, talking to some of y'all are kind of in the same boat. Y'all might not have come out and said it like I'm saying or I'm about to say, but I know, talking to some of y'all are kind of in the same boat. Like, you're getting this funk with, especially these deep in projects, and you look at what I went over this morning, and again, I know we kind of hashed through some of this last. um I broke something. What the hell did I do? um Screwed up my whole spreadsheet. Let's try this again. All right. So this was the spreadsheet that I just went over on this morning's video. And while there's some projects that to me have given up hope and they suck, and there's some projects that I find are still kind of trying and they suck. And to try to make my Tuesday videos a little bit shorter for y'all, I really want to start cutting the fat on some of these. And I thought I'd get a couple of comments on YouTube about that. Or maybe nobody watched my video, and that's all it was to it. I have to face that. Um, but I really want to trim some of this fat. And part of me is like, I don't even want to even screw with Nadix. And, I ran Nadix for an entire month in February. It made 6,000 tokens, which was $1.12, if that's even right. I was in such of a rush after my daughter's softball game last night. I did not want to use that as another reason why I can't why I couldn't do a video. So I'm like, I'm making a video. I cannot skip out on everybody for 2 weeks in a row. But I made, like I said, it was like 5,900 something. So I'm gonna say 6,000 tokens. Oh Jesus, it's worse than I thought. I made 65 cents for the month. Jesus Christ. So you wonder why I don't want to run Nadix when I get my call. Take the phone out, make sure it's connected to Wi-Fi, open up Nadix. Sometimes I gotta put all my stuff in. Do I really, really want to run 65 cents for the month? And look, I might not did them big hunt trips. And then what sucked also was I did the nitro for Nadix at the end of the month, like I normally do if I don't have any big trips the last 10 days of the month. They quit with the campaigns, which that's where you make majority of your tokens at. Because if a campaign's like 10,000 tokens, you're getting 45,000 tokens with the nitro, and they're not compensating you for that. It sucks. At some point I was thinking like, I can just run this project all month. I get a couple of dollars of it, but that's 6,000. That sucks. 65 cents. So I'm gonna make a duplicate sheet, and we're gonna start on 7 days from now. And I'm thinking like, so what are we cutting out to make this video shorter when I do these videos come on Mondays? So you have, I mean, you get rid of Nadix for sure. Now with Nubla, I just felt bad because we didn't recently just start talking about it, but we haven't been in as long as, you know, I'm sorry. Somebody sent me a text, and I just some people. I gotta take my watch off so I'm not distracted by some people. Anyway, so I don't know. I don't know what if I should even keep discussing Nubla, because Nubla. I don't want nobody to come across my videos and say, "Hey, Grumpy's into Nubla," and not listening to the full thing of the shit show they got going on over there, rug pulling. And just when you think the token can't go down no more, it goes down another 65%. But I know there's going to be a certain troll or 2 or 3 certain trolls or people, bullies, whatever you want to call them, that say Grumpy talked about Nubla, and when everything went on sale, he was talking about Nubla, and now that Nubla's got a little tight, you don't hear him talking about it no more. Yeah, because part of me, I feel the responsibility is if I continue talking about it, people are going to come by. If somebody comes by in the middle of listening to the thing about Chirp, and they see this sheet and see that I'm in Nubla, I don't want them to think that's endorse it. I have to go again. I'm lazy. I procrastinate. Well, I'm just busy, really. I have an auto script that runs like when I start each live, or when I schedule each live, and it takes the previous narrative, the saved description. It's still got codes for Nubla, like as if I'm endorsing it and stuff, and I have to go into it every time and delete anything about Nubla, grass, and some of these other projects, because I'm not that kind of person. If I'm not sitting here talking good about them, you're not going to hear me sit here endorse them and say, look, Nubla sucks. We just got rug pulled. But by the way, if you get Nubla, use my code. No, that's bullshit. I'm not that desperate. So do I get rid of Nubla? Milkman says Nubla has like a 5% chance, not a rug. 100% incompetent team though. Milkman, that I do somewhat agree with you, and that is why I am somewhat reluctant. But part of my thesis, if I can use that word, about deep pin projects is you have to continuously, maybe not at the same rate you did in the beginning, but you continuously have to have new blood come into your project. Some people get rich and go home. Some people get pissed and go home. Some people take their toys and go home. Some people's toys break. I have a Nubla. Marco. While I know it's on the network because I can see it online, when I go to the dashboard, it has mysteriously disappeared. What the hell am I supposed to do? I still show where I have a node at, but people aren't getting rewards for crap. People are still fighting. Like, there's nothing from the team at all about the project. You go to Discord right now, and again, I don't want to make this subject too long, but so I'm not going to even bother going. But you go in there, and there's nothing really from the team. You got something from a guy that runs a Discord, but there's nothing really on the team about the project. The only announcements they've had since the first of the year was strictly about the VE better staking rewards. Nothing about, hey, this is what's going on with our weather project. There ain't a freaking thing that is discussed in their Discord about their weather. And on X, it just pisses everybody off now because they have these AI bots that just put stupid things on their X every day. I don't know if they're still doing it or not because I haven't been going to X as much. But to me, if I'm part of that team and I'm trying to get my project to survive, you're going to see me on X trying to tell people, look, guys, we're still here. We're trying to fix this, this fiasco. We're trying to right this ship. It's sinking. We know we hit the iceberg, but we're trying to save this ship. X got games, man. The Naked Gun was a great movie with Leslie Nielsen. Leaked video of the assassination of. So anyway. Oops. So, wait, did they really have a learning Windows 95 in a bikini? See, like I can't show X while because all I do on X on this Grumpy Dad X is strictly crypto stuff. I don't click on anything I'm not supposed to. I have a separate X for that. But I can't even scroll through X on my live because who knows what's gonna pop up. So what are we looking at again? We're looking at so they stopped on February 26th, the last one. I wonder if they finally had enough and they stopped. So let me tell you something about if I ran a business. Holidays off are a perk. When all hands have to be on deck because shit's hitting the fan and a project sinking. I don't know, I don't know where they're from. And look, some people might have rights to holiday. I don't know. We have, sick time. You can't tell people they can't take sick. Some people get so much vacation time, but that has to be approved. And if there's something coming up, we have a hurricane coming, vacations are suspended. We have some kind of catastrophe, vacations are suspended. Let me tell you something. Nubla is supposedly sinking like they took the iceberg to the Titanic. Who the hell leaves to go on vacation because of a holiday? I showed this before. Well, I know I wasn't going to go, but hell, why not? January 3rd, we're working on the better rebate distributions. January 29th, pause a better binding, clear update, and then they talk again about the VE better crap. February 9th. Now it's VE chains fault, API problems, and all kinds of crap like that. And the whole time when you're in the Discord, all you see is where's my rebates, where's my rebates, where's my rebates. Airdrop bitch has been fixed and will be live on February 28th. Be fixing better rebates again. And then on February 23rd, so now you're 12 days later and people still looking for their rebates. Yeah, we took vacation. We'll be back. Again, look, I don't know how things run in other countries. I can tell you if I was running a business and we're falling apart, I did like the post that somebody posted about how they had like $6 million at one point that they raised. You know, I just don't think we are completely off track at this point, but I just don't think that I just can't see Nubla pulling out. I can't even tell y'all what rewards are because again, my Nubla Marco is gone. It blew away in the wind. Of course, you don't know what direction that wind came in, and that's why I kind of argue with what Milkman says. No disrespect, but just because I like to look at things from both sides, and I come back to say the clues were there, and did we just refuse to see it because we wanted Nubla to succeed so much? I'll still say it. A serious weather station needs to have the wind direction that you're coming. We had tornadoes and stuff and possible tornadoes last week at some point. Part of it is you're looking at is the front's coming through this way, and all of a sudden you got winds going in a direction they shouldn't be going in. Then your pucker factor is like, oh hell. But not on one of these stations because you can't tell which way the wind's coming. I can on my Weather XM, not the one at my house because that one don't work. One in my office. Then the front's coming in, you're getting a whole bunch of rain. But guess what? My Weather XM station, the one that works in my office, or my Davis weather stations, or these other goofy ones we have at my office, guess what? They at least tell us how much it's raining, how fast it's raining, what's the rate. So we know at the office, do the street pumps, should they be coming on? Because once it gets to a certain rain rate, that pump should be on. Guess what? There's no way they could use Nubla. Nubla don't even know if the hell if it's raining or not. That makes you start questioning how serious of a weather project is this if it can't even tell you if it's raining. So going back to what we were discussing just half a minute ago, do I keep Nubla on this sheet? Hell, I've kept helium on and I've took half my stations offline because I wanted to use the awesome layered 5-foot antennas for mesh core. I don't know. So in other news also, if you haven't heard, I don't know if this is 11:59 my time, your time, who's ever time, but who's excited for Grass Epoch 17? And I really wanted to put something on X really bad, but there's so many cheerleaders still for this project, and I just don't understand how. I don't understand. Um, Look, and I sit back sometimes. I'm like, man, my whole videos are always about something negative. Like, but but y'all would tell me if there's something positive somewhere that I'm missing. Please tell me. I'd love to smile and cover some positives. But I almost feel like I'm doing a service for y'all because nobody talks about this stuff. What you see on YouTube videos, and I love some of these guys to death, but it's always the positive, the positive, the positive, and what we could be possibly making on some of these projects. So nobody comes in here and starts saying this project's starting to f up royally. You don't see them videos. Why am I the only one doing videos? And again, I'm doing videos and I got 9 views on my video from this morning. You know, maybe people don't want to come to YouTube to look at negativity. Maybe that's what it is. They want everything to be rainbows and unicorn piss. I will say this 1,000 times. I know y'all sick of hearing me say it. Y'all got to apologize and just plug your ears. There's no reason why a crypto project should be paying people out every 18 months. There's no way you can justify it to me. Even these people, the cheerleaders on grass, can't justify it. I can't say, if I say, why is it a good thing that a project only pays every 18 months? At least they're paying us for our data. Are they? They haven't paid us in 18 months. What's stopping them just from disappearing tomorrow? Have you heard a peep about their box that they were planning on introducing? Where's that at? You don't see announcements. You don't see nothing from grass. You had a little bit of momentum. The token price went up a little bit, and people were celebrating in the streets. They were going crazy. So you had to jump in grass. Why? Like, what news came out to perpetuate this? So you're up 34%, you're up 45%. So everybody's getting excited this. While I'm not a betting man, if any of y'all do want to bet a soda, well, down here we call everything a Coke. You want to bet a Coke. What kind of Coke do you like? Sprite. You want to bet that when this 17 gets released, Epoch 17, this price goes back down? What's going on that so grass is up 38% today after ranking among the top 3 DPIN projects by revenue, generating around $33 million. How does anybody know that? Because they said it? Strong revenue traction is reinforcing the narrative that real usage, not just speculation, and driving value in the DPIN market. But listen, I know I'm negative, guys. I'm sorry. But if they don't pay people, is it even a DPIN project? We have it. Listen, and look, I don't think I'm getting this huge windfall, so I don't want nobody to misinterpret. Grumpy just really needs money. That's why he wants to get paid with grass. That ain't got nothing to do with it. I think nobody should have to wait 18 months. We last got paid in this, I want to say October. October of 2024. October 26th of 2024. And nobody, the only people come in there like, when's TGE? Dude, TGE was 18 months ago. Where have you been? No, longer than, well, I guess the first payment was technically TGE. But this is a joke. And why am I the only one calling this crap out? And I can still say, what's about to happen? What's about to happen with grass? You're gonna have people get a windfall amount of tokens. You see that all these people are negative. And look, we got a windfall of tokens. Yeah, dummy. Let's see. So when you get your rewards, divide that by 493 days and then see what kind of windfall you got. Because I still say that's what's going to happen. Some simple-minded folks, and look, and listen, I'm not high and mighty. Y'all know I got my own problems with paying bills. I got kids in school and stuff like that. Look, I am not sitting on no great amount of money here. But for some reason, some people in some countries, this is going to be a great amount of money. And I'm happy for them. Y'all know I want everybody to succeed. But I also want people to be honest. And when you take your rewards and divide them by 493, and it ends up being like a penny and a half a day, or 2 pennies a day, or 3 pennies a day, or we can be honest with ourselves, or people can be like, What are you talking about? What you complain about? I got $600 worth of tokens. Where else you getting that at? Yeah, $600 divided by a year and a half, which would probably still be good. But you know what I'm saying? I'll cover up y'all's comments. Keep hoping, check every so often to see what's up. That's my plan. My plan is now, but my thing is I'm not even getting rewards for anything. So even if Nubula stays alive, what good is it to me? My dashboard shows my dashboard doesn't even show my previous when my Nubula Marco was online. That's what I don't understand. I don't even see it anymore. Because I was showing y'all on my Nubula dashboard how things were coming up. I'm signing in now. The only thing I'm wondering is if I know at one point we were signing into a VE chain wallet as part of the first thing, and then at some point we had to morph that over to something with MetaMask. But I mean, I've tried both of them, and I don't see it in either one. But that's why, look, instead of me just sitting here and trying to figure it all out, I'm like, screw it. Like, I lost $300 on. I gotta tell you right now, I'm not going through the trouble of creating my own node. If I have to take one of my devices and create a node with it, there's no way. I'm not going through that. And at one point, you were doing a node with them on their dashboard, but then people complained they didn't get paid either. So, can anybody here tell me, are you getting paid for a node? Because some of them nodes were outright stupidly expensive. That's the disgusting part. How much do you think they made off that? And look, we set a warning. When we talked about buying them, we're like, look, we're buying nodes, and we're not even getting equipment with it. At least with helium devices, if you got them in, hey, I repurposed them for pies. I don't know. Let's see. I've got like 12,000 node mine, 5,000, 9,000 points from Nubula. Congratulations. The fact that you can even get to it on your dashboard and it shows up on your dashboard, congratulations. I'm highly jealous. Nodes broke. So the node that never got set up is broken. My Nubula Marco is broken. I'm assuming. I don't know. Again, where I have this thing hosted at by the lake, when I look on that person's look at land or IP table, I see the Marco, but that's it. It's not showing up on my dashboard. I don't know. So I don't know if I'm even going to try to pronounce this name. Santee Julie and is a house of fun 2724. Julie is a house of fun. Is there pineapple on that? Just joking. Listen, I am in 2000% agreement of that. What it boils down to is there's 2 or 3 particular projects that I really have faith in. One of them, I hate to say this because I'm gonna hear so much flack for it. I've said it on and off in videos and stuff before this point, but I know I'm gonna hear some shit on this one. But I'm just gonna put my big boy pants on. I want, I got 10 people watching this. I don't know where everybody's at. It's normally I get like 20, but hey, I got 10 people watching this. I want you to raise your hand if anybody's worried about GeoDNet at this point. We're going to talk about GeoDNet and some stuff going on, but the part of a DPIN or a layer 3 project, like what is DPIN or Wingbits or 4D Sky or Mass Chain or anything, if you don't take care of the people contributing data, what happens? And I still say, now I was getting at this earlier and I got way as usual off. But you have to have fresh meat, but fresh blood coming in. And what my concern is, and if Who Father was here, he would bring this up. You're about to have a halving in more than one of these projects. I don't know, but can anybody tell me, does Encore have a halving this year? Or are they doing yearly halvings also? Did they copy the GeoDNet shitty piss poor plan of tokenomics and let's do a yearly halving? Because I know I've never minced words. I've never bit my tongue. I've always said yearly halvings are the laziest tokenomics, a lazy way to fix tokenomics. Because what's about to happen is, let's say this gets up to, let's say this gets up to $2. And at $2, you're having that you're about to have in 2 months, 2 months and 27 days, you're going to go down to then $1 a day. If it goes up to $2, big if. You know, because sometimes when I use the current numbers, people are like, oh, but you're not contemplating if that project goes back up in value. And you're right. But you have to also sometimes go with the data in front of you. You're about to start making 73 cents a day. Right? iFix's website's broken. Drone Revolutions FX. I don't want to see all this. Come on. Okay, great. Where the hell is where's the store at? Does Hotfix not have a freaking store anymore? All right, we're gonna talk about that in a second, but I'm looking for the store. So Hotfix don't have a store no more. What the smell? Jesus Christ, I need a drink. Shut the front door. Oh, all right. Well, Hotfix, I gave you a chance for the plug, but guess what? You don't do that goofy. Look, I know I'm starting to curse way too much and taking it stupid. All right, so where were we again? GeoDNet. GeoDNet is $700. Take $69 off with the grumpy code or something like that around that. But then you got shipping. So let's say it's $675, right? So it's $675 divided by 74 cents. You're about to start taking 912 days to break even with GeoDNet. People like me who failed high school math, that means it's going to take you 2.49 years. If the price stays the same, does not go down, does not go up. That's what you're looking at. Let's say the price goes up to $2 today. Price today goes to $2. We then go to $1 come June 1st. And what do we say? So $675 divided by 1 is taking 675 days. I know. I just wanted to show it to you and go through the motion. So you divide that by 365 days. So again, it's still taking you 1.8 years to break even on a GeoDNet after having, if it goes up to $2. Y'all get what I'm saying? So my fear is the projects like this. What project? I'm sure, I think with WeatherXM last night. We looked at the project and it was going to take like 10 years to break even. I believe it was WeatherXM. There was two or three of them that had these astronomical, absolutely booty crazy days to break even. And I don't know. So my fear is, who's buying a GeoDNet station at that point? And if you don't have new blood coming in, what then happens? So what I was getting at was, you look at this spreadsheet, and what projects make you feel warm and fuzzy for the future? And I'm being dead serious. I want to see y'all in the comments. Y'all tell me. Let me see. Can't, that's phone. Your Nubla is up, Grumpy. $72, 72 degrees, only are 6.5 a day. July 1st, pretty sure. Two selling, two selling, and then profit. Yeah. Let me see. So yeah, my Nubla is online. But when you go to my dashboard, it has my account, device list, Grumpy's Nubla, updated 9 minutes ago. Rewards, 450,699 points. Total earnings, 338. If I can't get to a dashboard that shows it, what's good is it? So yeah, WeatherXM is 5 cents a day. 5 cents a day right now. You take that and you do the hokey pokey and turn yourself around. What was it, $400 for a device? 8,000 days. College math says that is then 21.9 years to break even on the WeatherXM. Don't rush out and buy it. You know, y'all calm down. I don't want y'all to break a finger trying to hurry up get to that website. So how do as stations break, do you think I'm going to buy another WeatherXM station? Even if I liked the project, even if I love weather and it makes me feel all special inside, am I going to go and spend a little bit more money and get a quality weather station and just not make rewards? Spend $400 on a plastic piece of crap that might break again in 2-3 years. Because both of mine are broken. I had two of them. One of them I sent back after fighting with him for a month. Want me to do this? I had to take a video with one phone, open up a brand new package. They made me buy new batteries. They would not take the video of me putting batteries in it that I said were new. Taking a video. This is how childish this crap is. This is their tech support. A video of me opening brand new batteries, putting it in the device, zooming in to show that I had the positive and negatives right. Like, I work in IT. This is an insult. And then had to do that. And then they said, okay, well, can you try another pack of batteries? No, I'm not going to buy another pack of batteries. They're brand new. You want to see the receipt? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you go put it in the dark room? I think y'all live in the dark room. Who's going to buy another WeatherXM station? So what are they giving them away free now or doing something with some kind of program they got? Oh, Axel, again, you looking at this. Is there any project under the main net section that you can go, I got a warm and fuzzy feeling about? Because even Rover, they were holding tight for a while at like a penny. Look where they're at now. And I really liked Rover. But part of me wants to know, do you start lumping all these driving deep pin projects together that they're all crap? And I like Rover. What's the difference between Rover and Demo at this point? Hive Mapper. I understand that the few people who can afford light cones with Rover, high five, guys, because y'all are doing damn good. And I'm jealous. I wish I can afford one. I wish I can afford the staking for one. And I understand the people who are on this channel that have light cones, y'all are doing damn well. Congratulations. The people who are using tarantulas, excuse me, not so much. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna predict this right now. In 2 months, 2 months and 27 days, Encore is probably gonna be the #1 project on this list. Can y'all handle that? Unless Encore has a halving around the same time, then all bets are off. GeoDNet, half of GeoDNet puts them in second place in this. For all the people out there who wanted to knock Encore and that they were just a GeoDNet ripoff, are you more pissed at GeoDNet's lazy ass halvings that are going to cause Encore to go in first? Or are you pissed at yourself for not giving Encore a chance? Chirp makes me so nauseous. I want to throw it in this bucket next to me, in this trash can. Throw up, vomit, puke. I think of all the projects that I'm in that's on 1 through 9, if you take GeoDNet out, of all the projects that I had the most hope in that they were going to do shit right, that they were going to get it right, that they were going to fix the problems with helium and get it right, was Chirp. Can anybody tell me what the hell that project's doing right now? Again, I don't want to rehash everything I went through in my video this morning, but it's the same thing. We're IoT network. We're IoT network. We're IoT network. We don't sell IoT devices, but we're IoT network. Somebody make that make sense. I swear I'm not drinking yet. I got a big brand new bottle of Bywater bourbon with my name on it, and I still did not want to drink before this. Not that I had a chance to even make a drink because I ran in here as soon as I got home. But how are you an IoT project that doesn't sell IoT devices? And when you do, you don't sell the IoT devices, you sell the NFTs, which are easily scalped because the scalpers don't even have to deal with anything. They're just buying NFTs and then turn around and relisting it 5 minutes later, hoping that people confuse those, because it happens all the time, confuses those for the ones that people are, that Chirp is selling. Why can't Chirp sell their own devices to stop majority of that? Yes, they could. Could they still get possibly? That Chirp's website's not working either. You know, I paid my internet bill because I wouldn't be online right now. Chirp dashboard. Let's try that. Let's see if that works. Something's happening. I'm just trying to get to the Explorer. I just want to see what the map looks like. You know, don't get me started on Chirp Cage. Look, some of y'all did very well at Chirp Cage. Again, if you did well at Chirp Cage, congratulations to you. So again, come on, man. Look at these. Look at how few stations this is. Am I supposed to be taking this project seriously? I mean, it's probably still more than helium that are online. But I mean, even like Texas, they got 2 stations. Look at Los Angeles. 619 don't need bigger hexes for Los Angeles area. This is a joke. And I'm supposed to take this project serious. Like, I'm supposed to think that this project's going to make it. Oh, everybody's using IoT and everybody this side. Who can use this? Just the people that are right here can use Chirp. God forbid you own a business that might be on the border. We're supposed to be excited about this? Hey, but go run Chirp Cage and go catch imaginary things. Unless you know, as long as you live in the 1% of cities that they're doing it in, because New Orleans and Baton Rouge didn't have any. I can't tell you how disappointed I am in this. I mean, even when you start zooming this in, if you're in Frankfurt and you have a business over here, you can't use Chirp. But you have them saying, the reason I dig into this so much is because you have them saying on their own Discord, yeah, we don't want to flood the markets like helium did. Brother, you better start flooding it as much as you can. Who's going to put their business on an IoT network that has coverage like this? Right? Chirp makes you chuck. Let's go back and let's go back and run them numbers. A Chirp, if you don't get one that is being scalped, which is impossible. But if you don't, well, the scalpers might even say, hell, nobody wants to pay $800 for this straight out off the market. We can't even scalp that. Who knows? But these things are $800. I won't even consider shipping. And you divide that by 44 cents a day. You're looking at 1,800 days to break even, which is 5 years. Who's buying a Chirp device? Do y'all feel warm and fuzzy about that project? I'm sure I'll get attacked. I'm sure somebody's going to make asinine comments because I'm not on my knees kissing the project's ass. I'm stating the facts. If I'm not stating facts, somebody in the chat, y'all got free reign right now. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me what I'm saying is wrong. I am spitting facts. Chirp can go back to $1 and you still got 800 days, which is more than 2 years to break even. Now, can somebody say I'm salty because kind of like entropy, which we're not even going to discuss right now, because my blood pressure definitely can't handle that one. And I don't know where my blood pressure cuff is. I got a new cardiologist I have to start going to next week because my doctor's concerned again about some stuff. And there's nothing more scary than that shit. And this is not helping me. But yes, I had a good while at Chirp. Like a good boy, I was sitting there staking it and doing all the stuff like that. And then Chirp, you can't even sell it when you first get all the tokens. They give you a little drizzle here, a little drip here. And then they go on X and brag to everybody. We got all these people holding all these millions of tokens. And I'm the only person with balls that's on their X saying, yeah, that's because y'all have them locked and don't release them all. What kind of comment is, what kind of post is that? Trying to tell everybody how proud they are that these people love our project so much. They're staking and their tokens are all locked. Yeah, because y'all locked them. Assholes. So going back, okay, so let's say, so, you know, I know some of y'all don't care for them. I like the guys, but my heart can't handle that no more. Going. This one, Never ROI'd from it. I ROI'd for like 3 weeks. Token price dropped. Never officially ROI'd from it. Who's going to buy one of these right now? Raise your hand. Um, did it even sell? Who even sells demo these days? Does anybody even sell demo? Helium Depot? They sell they sell demo still? They got a nice dust shelf full of demo crap. Um, so the demo LTE is sold out. That was $60. The demo LTE R1, $60 with a monthly fee of $10 a month. $10 a month. Now, the LTE probably makes more. It makes more than what mine is making. Somewhere on here, I got my spreadsheet. Nope, that either. I love lives. It's been a while since I've had to say that. Um, I don't know. Does that? I don't know what the rewards are for that. $60 is still $30 cheaper than what I bought. I don't know how many more demo do you think you're getting with that? So if you're making 10 cents a day with the LTE or one whatever it is, paying for this device, you'll clear $600. I mean, sorry, 600 days to get the rewards, but that's not included taking $10 off for the monthly payments. So you're going to make in 30 days, if it's, let's just say it's 15 cents. Let's go with double what you're making with my device. You're still paying out of your own pocket $5 a month to be in that demo project. So we're still holding out for demo. We're not going to talk about that no more. What else? On the website, they had a post where the Helium's New Orleans footprint absorbed a 550% Fat Tuesday surge with more than 100,000 daily unique subscribers sustained for Carnival weekend. Well, the weather was beautiful, and this was probably one of the most packed Mardi Gras I've ever seen in years because we had like this warm, decent weather. So we had record crowds. I will say that. Helium still $1.26, by the way. Um, I don't know what else. What else we taking off of here? 375 AI. Our rewards double and triple. We're still getting 19 cents a day. Rover, Chirp, Silencio. Silencio is a shell of what it used to be. Is anybody in here messing with Silencio? Tell you what, I know there's several of y'all still doing the voice AI for Silencio because we've talked about it. Y'all PM me, we talk about it, stuff like that. I even every now and then will go. I don't know if I ever got paid for it. Yeah, but I sit at the computer not doing nothing. I'm like, let me just do this Silencio voice thing, and I sit here and I read about a couple paragraphs over 20 minutes. I'm like, I'm bored as shit. I'm done. I don't know if I'll get rewarded for it. I still question a project that's going to pay you in USDC and not their own token. And that's one reason why I feel like Silencio is a shell of its former self. Is anybody in here still doing silencio as the noise pollution thing, going around getting hexes and checking venues? Is there anybody still doing that? Um, I don't know. I don't know. Um, I swear, I just want to get rid of it. Again, I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me which tell me in this main net list which one of these you feel positive about. What am I missing something? Am I missing? Is there a main net project? I know some people talk about like deep or something like that, but do you see a rosy positive outlook about? Because again, it's hard for me. Like the only one that pains me to say that is GeoDNet, because if you take away the tokenomics side, that project has one of the most brightest futures, main use and stuff like that. But my question to y'all is, who are going to sit there and probably on the other side of the screen argue with me when I say I'm concerned about GeoNet, is can you, if your GeoNet device is 2 years old, it's out of warranty. If that GeoNet takes a power surge tomorrow, knock on wood, I hope mine don't. Are you really going to buy another one? Again, you're only getting $1.47 for the next 3 months. So it is 90 times 90. So you're getting $132, right? That leaves $568 divided by when GeoNet goes to halving, 75 cents. No, it's more than that. 75 cents. So less than that. 0.75 divided by 365 days. So you're still looking at 2 years past. So you're looking at 2 years and 3 months to break even on a new GeoNet device. If your GeoNet device breaks tomorrow, how many people are going to replace that? And that's why I worry about about the future of GeoNet, because GeoNet is a project that is going to rely on your devices. I think Chirp's in serious trouble. They don't hint at it, but again, I'm looking at this strictly from the mining aspect of it. How do you have an IoT project without access points? Yo, Helium at one time had 900,000 access points, and they not making it. Wingbits to the rescue. I do agree. And that's what kind of set me down this path, is what was said earlier. Wingbits. I think there's a huge market for some reason. We've seen it for this ADS-B data, drone data. So I think there's room. I still say I think there's room for Wingbits and 4D Sky. I will still say over and over. I mean, some of y'all have a lot of capital to play around with. I don't. Um, I think it's also weird that you go to JD Sky's picks and he don't even have 4D Sky on here. I'm sure it's just an oversight. Um, the fact that they are They don't even show which drop they are anymore. What were they like on drop number 7 or 8? And the fact that this is going to ship by April 15th, I think that's wild. But not everybody's going to buy $1,000. And if you want the bonus antenna, not everybody's going to buy a $1,100 device plus shipping. Geode seems popular enough that price will increase with having. We'll see. I'll take that bet. Odin, you're a very wise man. I will say that. You come in here every week with knowledge, and I learn more probably from you than anybody on YouTube learns from me. You come here with knowledge, and you know some shit. But I used to get in these vehement fights with people with helium. People who would say, "Look at what happened to Bitcoin." Where after it's halved, there still has to be a demand and a support for the project. And helium halved, I think it was last year. You want to go see what the price was with that? A halving does not automatically mean an increase in price. Hell, you want entropy. Entropy halved. So halving doesn't automatically, there has to be scarcism and people worried about missing out on it and stuff like that. And if you don't have that, like, but like I said, I use numbers. Even if you double where it's at, you're still looking at after having 3 or 4 years for a device to break even. And again, I like GeoDNet. GeoDNet is probably, when you look at this list, I still think, when you look at this list in the mainnet sections 1 through 13, GeoDNet is my most positive project. If you look at strictly 1 through 13. So do not take this as me knocking them. I am just concerned about it. And you know what? Let me tell you why these numbers are all wrong. I just thought about this. Guess what? Let me tell you why all them numbers are wrong. Because when you see it say 3 or 4 years, it's going to take to break even. That's false. Because guess what you got coming up in 15 months? You got another GeoDNet halving, ladies and gentlemen. So let's say that right now GeoDNet is, $1.47. Let's just say this goes up to $2. And you're having automatically makes it down to $1. So you go back up to $1.25. Then you got another halving coming, which you down to 62 cents. Then the next year you got another halving. Yearly halvings are freaking horrible. It's disgusting. It's, I don't have the knowledge, and they have tried to explain this to me several times. Some of y'all might know, but whatever way Wingbits is doing to make sure they don't have an inflation issue, but not doing halvings, seems the way to go. It's just tiered thing. I don't know exactly what it is, but if Wingbits can do it, others can do it. But what's my most positive right now? Wingbits and 40 Sky, because there's a market for that. But I say the same thing with 40 Sky. I was trying to look to see how many stations you had, like seven or 8 drops. I know it wasn't exactly 50 miners for each. Some were less, some might have been more. Let's just call it even. If I'm off on this, please somebody tell me. But I'm pretty sure it was like 8 or 9 drops at 50 devices each drop. You're looking at 400 devices. Wingbits is still trying to compete with the big boys, and they got 4,000 devices. trying to log into some of this crap. It's so difficult. Trying to get in 4D Sky, but it's giving me crap. I still don't know why I can't see where it used to say how many devices are on here. Apparently, I signed into the wrong thing. I got so many different emails. I can't keep up. Some's my original email. Some's the Grumpy Dad. Some's the. But my point is, 4D Sky has less stations. Now, one thing before we get too late, which is already too late, but one thing I do want to talk about, and I want to hear y'all's feedback after just sitting here kicking them in the balls this whole time, is I want y'all's feedback on I talked about it yesterday. Now I gotta go find it. Those of y'all who didn't see my video this morning, y'all might be mind blown on this. This reminds me of a record player. I know some of y'all might not old enough to know about a record player, but I want to know what y'all's thoughts are on this. Did y'all know about this? Did y'all see about this? The GeoSwarm fully. So where's the website at that I was at yesterday? They had a little video of it and all that. I see 120 in here. So this has been announced for some time now, since February 15th. World's first fully automated home security drone. Discover why I still think they missed the buck. Like they missed the opportunity to put little missiles. If I want home protection, I need some kind of weaponry on this thing. But anyway, effortless aerial monitoring with automated home security drone, 3-axis gimbal for stabilized 1080p live viewing, communicate instantly with built-in audio and LED. No FAA registration because it's under 250 grams. Okay. So this thing is a lot smaller than what it appears in pictures. Go to drone.hifix. Can you mine geode with a swarm? I knew that was coming. Does swarm include RTK service or does it need to be purchased separately? We're launching soon. Get exclusive discount by signing up now. First VIP pricing. So not only do you have to buy the drone, you also now have to subscribe to RTK service. So drones weren't capable of flying before they had an RTK service. Does that just sound like an excuse to buy? To me, the program of it being autonomous and thinks there's a burglar around your house and going up and taking video. There's drones that do that now. The parish right next to us has, I don't even want to say how many, but they got bigger drones that when a call goes into dispatch for the sheriff's office, they got drones all around their parishes on top of buildings. When a call comes in for a certain area, the drone automatically takes off and starts heading in that direction to be able to see if there's a bad guy doing something, breaking in or something like that. They can see it. The drone can see it. They're not using RTK service. But hey, go GeoDNet. GeoDNet by HiFix Power is not released yet. It's launching via Kickstarter on March 10th, 2026. You have 7 days. Pricing details come from official pre-launch announcements as of early 2026. Early reservations, VIP Kickstarter, $1,500. This is a special early backer price available through the entire Kickstarter campaign. This is 25% off of MSRP, meaning the full price should be somewhere around $2,000. This is the lowest price HiFix has ever offered. So is HiFix making this? Because I don't know about y'all, but I don't feel warm and fuzzy with HiFix. I just tried to go to the store. You can't even go to their HiFix store anymore. And then I've already had to return one Wingbits device, along with a lot of some of y'all. I won't say a lot because percentage isn't that big, but several of y'all have had to return HiFix devices for Wingbits. And, still waiting for Wingbits to make an announcement on the device. But anyway, we're not going to get off track here. God bless America. You have a $40 monthly payment for service. Or $400 for the year. Pre-launch materials mentioned how to get the $14.99 price. What happens to the video it captures is saved in local DVR. The couple of options. Knowing 120, believe me, he has more questions coming. Is it so? Depends on users. Understand that. So what do y'all think? Raise your hand if you're rushing out. Because I can tell you right now. Y'all tell me how it is, because I ain't gonna find out. I can go buy another drone for that price. Pretty decent drone, pretty good drone, and not have to pay $40 a monthly service. I don't think you're delivering anything with a drone under 250 grams. I think there's gonna be, because there's no FAA. I've been studying a little bit for my was it 106 or whatever it's called license for drones. I don't think you can be able to do a delivery service. Listen, I'm not talking about America. I don't know anything about overseas, but I don't know how you can do a delivery service unless you can still stand on top of your building or standing on top of your house. You have to be able to see that drone the entire way. You have to get a permit for beyond visual line of sight. And again, a drone under 250 grams, I could be way wrong. I don't think it's delivering anything. It's a very small drone. Hence why you don't need the FAA registration. I'm betting they're about this big with a little bitty camera out the bottom of it. And again, I'm trying not to be negative. I didn't read this whole thing yesterday when I did my video. I thought it'd be a little more positive and excited for this. I mean, you're talking about buying several of them, and that's gonna be $40 a month for each one of them. You could run a whole business around just setting these up. I guess so. Gen X said I had to send 2 back. I'm very curious. Odin had a good question, and I'm thinking, but see, Jimmy beat me to it. I'm sorry, Jimmy. I missed your comment, but Jimmy said break even doesn't, after 2 years, doesn't factor the other halving in the second year. Odin, I will consider these prices bear market prices. We were making $5 a day per device not so long ago, and you're not wrong. I mean, but to make a responsible decision, you have to wonder. I mean, again, and you got people who know way more about this crap than I do, way more about this crap, and you have to listen to them. You don't have to believe what they're saying, but I mean, it's fair to listen to them. Do you think that DPIN or alts are going to have this huge increase? How much of an increase do you need to get Geode back to $5? That's a pretty big jump, along with halvings. You're not going from $1 right now. I'm sorry, yeah, $5 a day. You're not going from $1 right now to $5. You're going from 75 cents, which is what isn't that what the price is right now? You know, yeah, 12 cents right now. Let's figure this out. I don't know. I don't know what it was when we were making $5. Um, let's see. Actually, I do. I can go down here and go back to some previous months. So GeoDNet, we're making $8. This is last February. Last February. $8, $8, $8. GeoDNet $6. That's when the token was 26 cents a piece. So that's double. But also, this was before halving. You see how much the halving hurts? So halving must have been the end of June. Halving come in 7 days. Halving has arrived. So you went from and that's how much like you went from $5 a day, June 9th, June 23rd was $4 a day, June 30th was $4 a day. Boom, now you're instantly $2 a day. 17 cents. I don't think that math's right either, but it is what it is. Um, I haven't had to buy a drone. What's the average drone going for right now? You know, um, they got some big boys out there. Then you got U.S. bans going on right now with drones. Um, so they got some crazy. DJI Matrix 4 is 7,800 with thermal. DJI Mini 4K drone is $299, $300. The DJI Mini 4K combo drone is $446. Guess what? I would show y'all what I have for the protection of my house, but my language is already close enough to getting my YouTube channel in trouble and shut down. I don't need to show you what I'm using to protect my house and what majority of Americans in the South are using to protect their house. And it's not a drone. And it didn't cost me $2,000 or $40 a month. Look, I like my toys too. There's a line, there's a limit. I wish it was a little better. I don't know. I'd love to play one of these. But even if I got one for free, I'm not paying $40 a month for it. I'm sure somebody will be doing an unboxing. What that cost for we get one. Hopefully accept Geo. Where am I at? Having on July 1st with Geo. Yeah, I appreciate it. I just noticed that. For some reason I had June 1st stuck in my mind. June 1st. So it gives you an extra month. July 1st. So you got 3 months and 27 days to your having. July 1st is actually also my unofficial official retirement date. That is when I'm eligible for retirement. Where I work at, I'll have 30 years. And we have a wonderful retirement program. I talked a little bit about this last night. Um, we get 100% salary, or three highest years salary averaged, and we get that for the rest of our life, and 100% insurance for me and my spouse for the rest of my life. Um, then we have what's called drop, and I'm not going to get in the full detail of that, but basically, whatever you're making every 2 weeks, basically put that in a bucket on the side, duplicate amount, and you can do 4 years of drop. And at the end of that 4 years, you get the bucket. So if you're making, I'm going to throw a stupid number to make it easy. If I'm making 100 grand a year, I'm also making 100 grand in the bucket. And at the end of 4 years, you get 400,000 plus whatever the little bit of interest it is. And that's how it's supposed to work. I know my attitude, and I know what happens to most people is you get about a year or two in, you could be sitting at home with your dog watching Price is Right, and something happens and you're like, you know what? I'm going home. So I got to convince myself to do that. My hope is that I'll be so deep into crypto and so up in crypto by now, after 10 years being in crypto, I wouldn't have to sit at an additional 4 years of drop at work, that I would have crypto to rely on. No, it did not work at all. I could probably last about 2 days on what I have in crypto. Um, what else? There was something else I wanted to talk about, but that was, I don't know, the GeoDNet thing. I, I, I think it's cool. It's different. How about that? Let's reserve judgment. Let's see it come out. Let's see what happens. Did I miss the prediction on wings? Well, if my normal person that usually comes by here and makes the predictions to make us all feel better, he's not around, or unless he's lurking in the background. But I'm sure after whatever happened just recently with Iran, he's even more pissed off at the president. So I'm sure he's probably not anywhere around. But he usually gives the prediction for wings. I don't know. I had a certain amount in my mind. I've said it before. I don't know why I don't want to say it now. But that was also well before this dip shit happened. All bets are off. I forget what token it was. We found a token on my live 2-3 months ago that was a 10 billion token supply project, and it was like 25 cents, and I got all giggly and excited. Was started ordering my Lambo and my boat, my fishing boat I've always wanted. I've always said I wanted a big fishing boat, that's on, bay boat style, center console, and one side it says crypto is a scam, and the other side it says Bitcoin is a Ponzi, just to rub it in people's face. But guess what? Apparently I ain't gonna be rubbing nothing in people's face. Um, but at 25 cents a wing, I'm gonna have a boat for me, my son, one for the bayou, one for the freshwater. I'm gonna get my 100-acre compound I want, with all the hunting, deer hunting I want on it. We get everything I dreamed of at 25 cents. Guess what? I don't think. Um, I can only wish that we get that kind of, you know, if y'all haven't seen Wingbits, make sure y'all go to it. My dashboard. If y'all watched my live last week, I kind of took a kick in the gut, and I got a big fat gut when I thought I saw what I saw. I know know what I saw because we were all looking at it. When I saw what my tokens were going to be at drop, and it was like a quarter of what I really should be getting, less than a quarter, maybe like an eighth. But I got DM'd by somebody with the project and said, there was something seriously wrong with your number last night. Go log in now and go check it again from a different computer. And sure enough, it was right. So I took some deep breaths. You know, a part of me says Wingbits, it doesn't matter what the price is because you can't sell it all at one time. I see people chit chatting about this on Discords. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? They have protections in place. You get like 5% of your testnet tokens. Is it a day, a week, a month, or something like that? You can see it all broken down. I know they got some questions on how they're gonna do the whole and I even have questions on how we do like the host things. Like I have one host with somebody in Canada, and I don't even have him split on my wallet because I sent him a miner, say 6 months ago, but that miner's been set up for 18 months. So if I set him up as a host in the wallet today, he's getting whatever cut we have agreed on back since day one. Well, I don't want that. I just need it for the last 6 months. So I'm hoping that when we do go TGE, I can figure out, we have the text messages of when it got started. I have to sit here and figure out or try to get some kind of report ran and say, hey, since last October to today, how many tokens has this got? And then depending on the percentage that we agreed on, I'm gonna have to give him that amount of tokens straight up. And then from that point on, I can then add him as a percentage because from that point on, I believe then he'll get the rewards from there. If they say no, if a week after TGE I go add him as a percentage, it's still gonna go give him rewards back from day one. We're gonna have a problem. Because I'm not gonna sit and deal with that. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. You know, I don't know. I don't know what Wings is gonna do. I don't know what 4D Sky is gonna do. Mass Chain's another one that I don't want to talk negative about some of our new projects. Not that I have that's ever stopped me before, but I'm trying to look and see if we got any kind of updates. No. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I said if Who Father was here, he can give y'all his update on what his price is. I think he's always said 4 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents. I think that's high. I thought that was high before, and now that we've had this dip, who knows? I still say whatever happens with Wingbits, people are gonna complain about. If they go release the TGE now, people are gonna say they should have waited. If they go TGE and the price goes down, they say y'all should have went to TGE a week ago, a month ago. Well, you shouldn't win at all. You should have just held out another 3-4 months. It's never gonna. When the price goes down, they're gonna say it's a rug pull, even though crypto's dropping. It's gonna be. I'm probably gonna have to take a break, honestly, because that might be my make or break term. Because y'all know me, I will call out, including ring bits. I will call out projects that, like I did for the last 2 hours on this video, projects that are screwing up. But when people are going to attack a project and it's nothing to do with that project, I will defend that project because again, nobody's got the balls to come on YouTube to say it. And part of it is like, somebody's going to say, well, the token price went down, Wingbits rug pulled people. Oh, shut up. People want to use that term so bad, so much. I'm trying to think what project it was I saw the other day. I don't know if it was Helium or something about a rug pull. Look, nobody rug pulls over 3 years. Trust me, coming from the person that's notoriously held every token he's owned way too long, I can say, that's not rug pull. Junk coin, rug pull. Flex project, Flex Flock, whatever the hell that project was called, Flex, whatever. I warned y'all to stay away from it, and y'all got rug pulled. Cat in the Hat thing, I think that just slowly died. You didn't see a gigantic dump with the cat thing, Cat in the Box or whatever the hell it was called. I don't know. I have faith in Wingbits. I don't know, man. I don't want to discuss too much because people ask me stuff all the time, and I don't want to bring it up because I don't want to give it more credit than it should, or more airtime, if that's the word to use. But people are concerned about certain things that have been said by Robin and stuff like that, and I think it has no merit at all. And people are still concerned, even though they've come on in the AMA and said it's a moot point. People still get concerned. I don't know. Part of me just says let's just go to TGE and whatever the frick happens, happens. Um, I know they got another device that is coming out at some point. I don't know what the hell it is. I know that I was asked to test it and give an honest review on it. It's been delayed a little bit just because of like sure it has some with holidays or whatever like that. Because like I said, I announced to y'all that I was getting it, and there's really been no movement on it, stuff like that. So I don't know. I am very, very curious to know what that project, what that device is. Mass Chain's will be coming out with their device. I know they have people. They have had people ask for that device. They don't want to set it up themselves. Um, you got people who are asking like, why come Wingbits don't want to do no more DIY? How come Wingbits don't want to do no more DIY? Well, is Mass Chain going to come out with its own device? Well, it's the same thing. Um, I'm planning on going down to Grand Isle. I went over the weekend. I completely forgot this stuff, but I'm planning on going down to Grand Isle and adding Mass Chain to my Grand Isle station, which is right on the Gulf. I don't know what I'm gonna do with antenna yet. I had a kind of a goofy little VHF antenna that I was gonna bring over the weekend. I forgot it. I forgot my brand new my brand new little device right here for it also. So I'm gonna have to take another rod 2 hours down to Grand Isle. Not anytime soon, but next time I have to. And I will be adding a Mass Chain to that. And for me, this is my only cost because I'm gonna add it to my DIY Wingbits device that's down there already with some feed line I got already had and a VHF antenna. That will be my third Mass Chain device, and I'm probably going to just pause it at that point. I'm not going crazy. I'm not adding all these Mass Chain devices. I got one here where I live and work at. I got one in Baton Rouge, and I'll have one in. My hope is that by putting one up in Grand Isle, I'll also get the mouth of the river, which is a 2X area. If y'all have seen that, I'm not going to go to the website. I got to start wrapping this up. It's 9 o'clock, but been drinking way too much tea. It's about to come out my eyeballs. But do I have a crazy warm feeling over Mass Chain? No. They did come out with a bunch of new tokenomics. So if you haven't seen that yet, if you're in Mass Chain or kind of roughly kind of thinking about Mass Chain, take the time to go and look at their new tokenomics that they're planning on coming out with. Again, I'm sorry for those who saw this in the video that I'm rehashing this again, but it is very, 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 did I say the word very, very rare that you see everybody in the Discord agree to something. I never thought I would see it. They are, you can go to this. This is again in Mass Change Discord under the reward mechanism 2.0, whatever. And people seem, like I said, everybody seems to like it. So we'll see how that goes. If you have a Mass Chain, I know didn't really go through this, but if you have a Mass Chain device, make sure you go and you put your little T mask tokens down so you can stake your device and get seniority, at least for now. But eventually seniority will be just who's been running the longest and stuff like that. I'm not going to rehash all that. I got to go pee bad. So way too much tea during this thing. I got kind of a sore throat from sinuses if y'all can hear it. So that's why I have to drink this. Did I miss the prediction on wings? Never know. It could run. They are being calculated. I agree with you. I 10,000% agree with you. The problem is I've watched enough crypto YouTube channels for the past 10 years that if I show too much enthusiasm for Wings and Wings does not do what you're saying, Gen X, I won't survive it. Because when I get attacked, I have a hard problem turning the cheek, if y'all have noticed. Just like my one troll that follows me in every Discord I go in. Every Discord. I can go into a Discord about chocolate chip cookies and he'll be in there saying, Grumpy once said he liked peanut butter. I don't know why y'all even entertaining us in the chocolate chip Discord. What y'all gonna do when he turns y'all his back? I mean, and he turns on y'all. He does it in every fucking Discord. I gotta find out how much money I owe him because I live rent free in the dude's head. And it's things like that that I have always tried to come on here and be as honest as I can. Because I know once I get caught in lies, I'm done. People don't survive it. And there's times where there's things I can't release because of agreements I have with certain projects or whatever. And I try to kind of that's the only time I kind of hem haw around certain things, and you could tell I'm not being 100% honest. But again, it's because I'm being forced. But I don't come out here and lie. If a project says, "Hey, you can't tell them that you got ABC from us," and I go in there and say, "Yep, I got DEF." No, you know. And if it says you can't tell them you got ABC, I'm not gonna come out here and say, I didn't get ABC. Nope, nothing to see here. Keep moving on. I'm not gonna come out with blatant lies like that. I'm gonna try to, you know, have to survive. Um, but going off of that, like, I know, I know basically, even by me taking precaution I'm taking, if something happens to Wingbits, as soon as it dips hard the first time, if something happens, they're coming after me. Hell, how long have I joked about how I got Wingbits on my hats and on my sleeves, and I'm the godfather of the golf because I have Wingbits devices all across the golf. They're coming after me, and I'm prepared for it. Might get a rated R rating. I might get banned from YouTube, but I'm gonna defend myself. And if I have to, I'm gonna defend Wingbits, just like I would defend 4D Sky if people are saying stupid crap about them. You know, if a project deserves to be defended, I'm gonna defend them. And on the opposite odd, if people aren't attacking grass enough for the shenanigans they're pulling or chirp, I'm gonna I'm gonna join in or start it off or whatever or call them out because you don't have YouTubers doing that. I don't know if they're afraid of they don't want to piss. They're afraid that they're not going to get the next project that comes along is not going to work with them, and maybe that's why I don't have projects. Even though I got 36,000 subscribers and I don't have projects reaching out to me about collaborations and deals and stuff like I've heard other people that have 25% of the subscribers I have and what they get, because maybe they watch 5 minutes of my video and realize I'm honest. And if I get involved in that project and I realize it's shenanigans, I'm calling shenanigans. And I've always said that. If y'all follow this channel for the last 2 years, y'all know that about me. Wingbits has never shown me anything that I would need to pull my shenanigan flag on. 40 Sky has not shown anything that I need to throw my shenanigans on. Mass Chain has not done anything. They tiptoed the line with Peak. I question a little bit about Peak. Somebody made a comment to me one time in private that you realize they went with Peak because Peak made them a deal and paid them to come over and all this and made these certain deals and promised them all this stuff, even though they can't promise it because they're not big enough to, you know, I have no really way to back that up. But even that is still, hey, they made a business decision. Nothing like they did that was really shenanigan type. So, you know, finishing out real quick this list. I gotta so bad. You know, I don't see what the hell is Encore down here. Um, Tell me how you feel about. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong month, huh? Let's try this again. If you haven't followed the video last night, this one I got highlighted right here. Watch what happens when I hit this delete button. Done. I'm done with Capture Go. I know what some of y'all going to say. I don't know if y'all using Androids, if y'all using newer iPhones than I am, but I tried it yesterday before this video. Saturday. I drove 350 miles on Saturday, helping Grand Isle with something, the fire department, and also working on some mesh core repeaters. And I got into Capture Go 3 times. And all 3 times when I opened it up, I'd have a dot right where I had it open at. I'd leave it open for 3 or 4 spots. ADD kicks in. Got to go stop somewhere. I use the phone. I text somebody. And that's it. It doesn't capture no more. I've tried to, because some of y'all said, oh no, mine works in the background. So I deleted the app, re-downloaded the app Saturday. Still does the same thing. When you try to go to it, you gotta put your stuff in again, and then reading the Discord. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I just these driving apps like 375 AI. Somebody explain to me what you driving with that app. And now look, I have 375 AI open because it runs in the background on my phone, so it just runs. I'm on a huge, I don't know how many days straight. What really what's 375 doing? It's an edge product on billboards. What is you and me driving around through? Is it just data harvesting? Um, I don't know. I mean, y'all tell me what else we doing? Can we get for those just joining? Where are we at? What we missed? I tell you what. If you happy Canadian, if you want that, you're gonna have to give me 1 minute. 1 minute. I'll be right back. Y'all count 60 seconds. I'll be right back. Feel 10 pounds lighter. It's funny how you get older, you just can't hold it like you used to, man. Jesus Christ. So I still got 10 people here. It must be 10 people who fell asleep. I appreciate y'all sticking around for my bathroom break. I hope everybody got, everybody should went to the bathroom, got their own little, refilled their snacks, popcorn, drinks, whatever. And I'm going to drink more tea. Oh, I feel so much better. Oh, anyway, where was I at? Oh, Cell Hasher would be a good sponsor to get. I've never heard of them. Yeah, I'd fall asleep too. There's no way I could watch this thing for 2 hours. I don't know how y'all do it. I appreciate it though. Thank y'all. Make sure you hit the like button and all that stuff. No, I can't watch videos longer than 15 minutes. Other than the guy from Canada, in Alaska that does the cabin stuff. I tell y'all every week, my dog and I, we watch these guys that have these cabins in Alaska and how they're getting screwed over now because everybody wants to move to Alaska to have their little cabin in the woods, and they promise them road rights and there's a way to get to them and stuff, and then people are buying it sight unseen, and then they get out there and realize there's no way to get to it. And the one or two roads that even come close to it are private. Um, Railroad won't let them cross and stuff like that. It's crazy. Anyway, so where are we at? A quick summary. So quick summary is basically, if you watched the video this morning, for those who came in late, we're trying to figure out what projects do we have zero faith in to make the Monday video shorter. What do we want to get rid of? Combinder, there's never any update. So whatever. Silencio, I asked the whole crowd, is there anybody here who is running Silencio AI voice? Anybody here who's running Silencio, the talking, the sound pollution thing when you can walk around and get the decibels and stuff? Is there anybody still running that? Nobody really said anything. Maybe it's time to 86 Silencio. The only reason why I still have it on here is while I don't believe anybody's running the sound pollution, I know for a fact there's several of y'all who are still, especially the older guys. I don't want to call anybody out because I'm old too, but guys who don't really do too much during the day anymore, either got health issues, old, whatever you want to call it. It's a way to sit at home and make a few bucks. Some of these things pay like $10 an hour. What isn't like $10? Like it's an hour's worth of translation for $10 or something like that, or a day, but yeah, something like that. But anyway, and I do have a referral code for Silencio to give you a bonus. Don't forget. But anyway, and that's you're making more in a day than you are in a month with all these projects. That's the reason why I kind of keep Silencio in there, just so I can keep reminding y'all, for those of y'all anybody who might want to play around with that. I don't need everybody seeing my shit. My account is suspended. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Account suspended. My account is under review. Y'all want to see Grumpy lose his absolute shit taki mushrooms live on air? Let the Silencio app be suspended with all my tokens for 2 years, 3 years on this thing, and it's going to be bad. That's not 1.5 million tokens. Claim my tokens. Still have 123,000 raffle tickets. I don't know how. I don't know how I have 123,000 raffle tickets. Let's just holding the wallet get you some, because I don't have any staked anymore. It's another one that I wanted to sell, but then I had to get finished the staking and stuff like that. So how do I have 123,000 tickets? And why can I get to it on this? Why how can I get to it on this? But that the voice AI thing says, I just showed y'all, I'm suspended and under review. Why? I've been sitting here running this voice thing for 2 months now since they came out with it. This is bullshit, man. Like this is the shenanigans that just makes me want to quit this crap. That's why I don't want to deal with car programs anymore. Going like with your phone, and that signs you out, and you know, oh, I don't know. So again, if anybody else is in Silencio, rug pull. You know, but what that tells me is, damn, I have nearly 2 million Silencio tokens. I say that, but yet I didn't try to move them yet either. Let's go to our trustee. This is gonna be sad too. I don't even know why I'm even doing it. $134 this show for how long Silencio been out? 2 years. So anyway, and again, I question. You know, let's look at it like this. I sat here for weeks and said, this is basically a project that has forked. Two completely different projects. There's a Silencio that still does the noise pollution, measuring hexes and crap like that. And then there's the voice AI thing. Does this kind of not prove my theory on that? I'm using the same email. I'm using the same account. I'm using same account basically to get in. And I'm in it. So right there. Nearly 2 million tokens. Y'all just saw my voice when I'm suspended. Does that not prove this is just two completely separated, forked projects? Maybe not. Maybe to some of y'all it doesn't. It does to me. So going back to Canadian and what the happy Canadian, what we've missed so far. So we're trying to decide what else we're gonna pull from this. Trying to make our Monday video shorter. Of course, we're not gonna drop these. Brusho, hell, Brusho is Brusho. No idea. They keep saying they're not in TGE. They do give project updates. Again, I keep telling y'all that I'm in Brusho just because I wanted the electric toothbrush, and I just think it's cool as shit to tell people, hey, and people at work, and you know, when I'm at these conferences, or when I'm at these work conferences, or if I'm at these meetings I go to around the state, and they're like, man, I heard you have a YouTube channel. Yep. What project do you like? Brusho. What the F is Brusho? I get paid crypto to brush my teeth. And their face is like, they don't know if I'm ribbing them. They don't know if I'm joking. They don't know if I'm being dead serious. And I'm like, yeah, I get paid crypto to brush my teeth. My daughter wants a Brusho bad. If Brusho, if you're watching this, I would love another Brusho toothbrush from you. Because I'm not paying what they want for these things now, $200 something. But my daughter's begging for a Brusho toothbrush. She wants an electric toothbrush, and she wants a Brusho one, so she can tell her friends that she's doing crypto with Brusho. Look, I don't know if this thing will ever go TGE. I think it's just fun. It's a little lighthearted. And I tell you, I guarantee I'm brushing better now than I've ever have in my life. Because when I would go get my teeth cleaned, they would say, you know, you missed this, you keep missing this in the back, you keep missing this section right here. You know, are you doing this? Or are you sure you're brushing the inside of your back teeth like that? But with this thing, you have to hit all the zones. And sometimes the zones don't go away quickly. You have to sit there for like the last 30 seconds just trying to get that one section to finally cover on the app. If I'm getting 200 tokens a day, I don't know what the shit they're going to be worth, but it makes sure I guarantee, I got somewhat white teeth. I think that's more the toothpaste than anything else, but still. I got another dentist appointment in 3 weeks. We'll see what she says. Well, that dental hygienist girl. If I can't talk the next day because she had to floss and clean the shit out my mouth, and that means that brush show is a failure. Hey man, brush show's a failure because the token didn't go shit. No, because my dentist said my teeth were jacked up. I don't know. All the phone texts you talk about never interested me though. Don't do car stuff. I really don't drive it. I'll be honest with you. I keep calling myself lazy. Is it lazy or is it burnt out? I used to tell y'all, if y'all remember, I used to tell y'all how, I would get, I have a diesel truck. So let's just have it cold or even hot. I have a routine. I'm a routine type of person. Before I go to bed, I have to take a shower. I just cannot get in bed dirty. I gotta take a shower. I don't care if I'm staying up and I'm working on video like last night till 1 o'clock in the morning. My wife's screaming at me because I'm waking her up because I'm taking a shower at 1:30 in the morning. I gotta take a shower before I go to bed. So if I shave, I grow hair so fast that if I shave after my shower, by noon, I look like I haven't shaved. So I can't look like that at work, especially some of these meetings I go to around the state with some kind of high up people. So I wake up, get a hot towel, shave, fix my hair, brush my teeth. When I'm using my brush, I know I can walk around, grab my clothes. Like I have this routine, like down. When I'm done with that, get dressed. As I'm getting dressed, I'm starting my truck. And then I sit in my driveway for like 3 minutes. I'm sure my neighbors don't know what the hell I'm doing. It's because I'm starting like 6 different D-pin projects. I mean, at one point I had sword chain on a phone. Ford is God. Sword chain, Nadix, Chirp, because it's Chirp Cage and all that stuff like that. Sword chain, Chirp. What's the other one? Rover. You got all this crap you starting on your phone. Then you got to open up your other phone. You got to make sure you got Capture Go run in the background, because during beta you could run in the background. 375 AI. Like, how many projects is that I'm running? Hell, my tank's half empty of diesel by the time I pull out my driveway. The best part is when I one day I will record it, but my grumpy dog loves when dad's home. And my dog, which if y'all have seen her before, she's 7.5, 8 pounds, multi-poo, which means she's half Maltese, half poodle, has destroyed my several $100 wooden plantation shutters on my window, because when she sees me, she's trying to go through the window because she can't wait till I come inside. And my wife will just, grumpy wife will sit there, and if I call her grumpy wife, she's going to strangle me. She will complain because she's sitting there trying to watch her movies, or she is on the phone with her friends, or on the phone with something work related, and the dog is just sitting there going ballistic, because she wants to go outside to see me. Because every now and then, if she comes outside, I'll grab her and we'll take a quick ride to the end of my street and back, just like a half mile up the road towards Mississippi River and back. And she'll sit there and she'll just go crazy. But I'm sitting there because I have to close Nadix. I have to do the challenges for Nadix, because you can't wait till the next day because they expire after a certain point. And I got to close, this phone, and I got to close this phone, and I got to close this phone, and I got to close this out. And the whole time the dog's just, and my wife's like, listen, you can't do that. I'm like, well, I have to, My point I'm getting at with all that is it laziness, or am I just burnt out? I'm just burnt out making 7 cents a day while I'm sitting here in my driveway playing around with the freaking Nadix phone. And Nadix every now and then will do this announcement saying, hey, we're gonna be doing this now, and hey, um, we only gonna be worried about the VX360 now. The next month they're like, hey, we got a new customer. Now we're gonna be we're doing video again. And or sword chain, you know, bought freaking those stupid devices that plug into OB2 ports just for them to come out later and say, we're not worried about them things no more. I'm not doing that video no more because that video shit didn't work. So like, am I lazy? Am I tired? Or am I just burnt out? I think if you were paying me somewhat decent pricing, but like they've argued with me in the past. Their tokenomics are their tokenomics. They can't control the price. To a point, they're right. To a point, maybe not. I don't know. If they have good paying customers and they can put money into the liquidity, the token, burning and stuff like that, they could. I just think it's funny how you see certain projects can kind of hold their pricing while some are just tanking. Maybe they don't have the customers they said. I don't know. I'm not a tokenomics expert, but listen, Natics pissed me off at the end of the month with their Nitro, and I ran Nitro and didn't get any points because they stopped all. First of all, they had withdrawals shut down, so people who were trying to get their tokens out couldn't get withdrawals. And then all your challenges, they suspended all challenges. Then miraculously, March 1st, they come back. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not playing. I'm just sick of these shenanigans. And then look, it might just be me. There might be just as many people running Natics now than there was before that. But I don't know. I'm just getting tired and grumpy. I think Dennis might pump the price of that brush show just to keep people brushing. You think? You know, Milkman, what it is at some point, I'm going back to your comment again. All the phone apps I talked about never interested me, though. I don't do car stuff. But I got to lean back. It's been a long day. We've only been doing this 2.5 hours. My butt hurts on this chair. Anyway, since we're going to get relaxed and talk about it, I've kind of pushed those because I understand while I don't joke. I mean, I am broke to a point, you know. I thought my son going to college would save me money. No, he always needs me to send him money for something. Um, but you know, some people in the same boat I am, and it was a way to, you know, when we joined Natix, we joined 375 AI. We didn't know what we were going to make, and it was a free project to get into. Hell, even Sword Chain, when they started their little video dash thing, you could get into Sword Chain and not even have the little device that you got screwed over. If you remember, you know when them things went downhill? When they quit giving you rewards for being parked. And I sat here and said, y'all drastically cut everybody's rewards. What do you think's about to happen? And guess what? There's my little troll attacking me that I'm trying to cheat and get paid without job. It wasn't cheating. I lost my shit. I even did a video back then attacking him back saying, don't call me a cheater when they were allowing you to get paid while you're parked. If they're allowing it, it's not cheating. So go kiss my fat, white, hairy tree in the backyard. You know, so I pushed some of these apps. Silencio, it was a free app. I just told you. Now, I busted my butt to get to where I was on Silencio. I got almost all of the little awards you can get other than like the million token one or million hex one or whatever. But I mean, technically I got $137. If I was sold it a while back, it'd probably been worth more. But I got 2 million tokens of a project that I didn't pay a dime to get into. Natix. Natix at one time, I showed y'all on here. Natix was worth like, if y'all remember this video, had to be, it was alive, but it had to be, time flies, 8, 9, 10 months ago. And it was like worth $800. And I'm like, holy hell, it was a free project. And what did Grumpy do? As usual, well, I'm a hold. I'm a hold. And it goes down to 600. You're like, well, I'm a hold because it might go back to 800. Then it goes to 400. Then last I looked, but the Natix I had was worth 200 something. And then I sold it. So, but that's kind of why I push some of these phone apps is because they were free. people can get into them. I know people have contacted me. They said like they appreciate it. Earn app, Earn app. Maybe if I only had one device here, I wouldn't talk about Earn app because it doesn't worth it. But I run Earn app on a good amount of devices. But I'm also running Honeygain and Pawns. I have $30 worth of Pawns right now, and I have never claimed it. I've claimed $100 of Honeygain maybe twice over the past 2 years. Both times on hunting trips to give me some extra money when I went to Missouri hunting trips. Yet, I'll check it right now. I had $55 worth of Earn app when I did my video 24 hours ago. I'm at 60 right now. Excuse me. So rewards have actually come down a little bit because I was claiming this about every 2 weeks and I was making $100 something, I think. It's been about 2 weeks a little bit less than 2 weeks since I claimed it. So now I don't want to scroll down because for reasons y'all can see my devices, and it also shows you all the external IPs. And while I do trust most of y'all, you never know what nefarious person might stumble across this video and see those IPs. But I am curious if I might have, I know for a fact I got like 2 devices offline. Told y'all I took my device off of a building in Baton Rouge. That hurt because that was making some very good Wingbits, but there's some inner turmoil with that. But anyway, so yeah, I got 2 or 3, 4 stations offline. That's another thing. Keeping up with my host. Yes, it's awesome that I could spread my Wingbits joy around the country. Technically outside of country too. But keeping up with devices that are online and offline. I have a cron job on every Wingbits device. It reboots every 2 to 3 days automatically. That has helped tremendously from when I was first in Wingbits. But you still have devices now that go offline. Is it because, I have one of my hosts, she has a very big dog. She lives on a big farm, big ranch. And husband's out of work sometimes, like for a week, out of the house for like a week sometimes in construction and doing farm stuff and ranch stuff and stuff like that I'll never know about. She has big dogs, and that dog, while I've never seen it before, got to be 600 pounds because when he gets excited in the garage and he wags his tail, he whacks the wall plug right out of the wall and turns my Wingbits pie off. And sometimes she catches it and sometimes she doesn't. And I'm like, can we possibly just plug it in somewhere else? No, because this is where this is, and this is how they run the wire to the roof and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, he's a happy dog. I like happy dogs. Just not ones with tails the size of a baseball bat that whack my wall wart power supply out of the wall for my Wingbits device. What else? Earn Up is a big winner for you. I only have one internet connection, so I'm limited. Hey, it's kind of one of those things. Like, again, I don't want nobody to call me out saying, "Oh, you made this with Earn App," or you're hiding it, or whatever like that. Or somebody's gonna call me out saying, "Well, of course you're making that with Earn App. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right now, I got 13 devices online. 13 devices online, and I made $5 since yesterday. Y'all saw the video yesterday. Y'all saw it just now. So I'm not lying to y'all. 13 devices online. I have three different host locations that currently are offline, and that is one issue I find with Earn App is those devices are not offline on Wingbits, but every now and then you just got to do a reboot, and Earn App comes back up. I tell my host that, hey, I'm running this other little app on it. You're not going to notice any difference in Wi-Fi, and we worked out a little different deal. but it has. I mean, you look at what I've made since last. I'll never forget. The last June was the first time I took a withdrawal from EarnApp when we were on our family road trip from Louisiana to Philadelphia to Washington D.C. to Baltimore to New York, and I needed spending money. And I'm like, where the hell can I get some spending money? And I'm like, I'm not gonna touch that. I'm not gonna touch it. So I went looked at EarnApp, Honeygain, and Pawns. Couldn't touch the other two because they weren't worth the shit. And EarnApp had like $200, $300 on it. Well, that helped pay for stuff. When you look at what I've made in um maybe about a year, maybe a little less than a year, not that bad. I did have one time 3 or 4 more devices than what I have now, but hey, look, I have no idea who it is. I have no idea who y'all are, but some of y'all have did very well with EarnApp because I can see the referrals, and I don't make that much off your referrals at all, like 10 cents or something silly. But I could see what some of y'all have did with referrals, and some of y'all must have several devices on. The one guy right here made $31. I made $31 off of their deal, so that tells you what they're making. Um, because what happens is when I make a withdrawal, it clears theirs out on the earn side, but then I have a total. So some of these people, it gives me like a letter, star, 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 and then the last letter of the email at, and then it'll say gmail.com, gmail.com, hotmail.com. Like, I don't know who y'all are. Don't know. Um, I see when it says Trump's my boy at gmail.com. I know that's got to be who fought it. So, like you said, you can't see anybody's email or anything like that. I have no idea whose is who. I don't even know if the amount of characters in between is correct. But that's basically it. Y'all still really ain't helped me and told me what else I need to get rid of on here. Do you think it's time that we quit talking about WeatherXM? Does anybody see WeatherXM having a big comeback? Is anybody gonna have their feelings hurt if I quit talking about Nubla? And what I was saying earlier was with Nubla, what I'm worried about is somebody's gonna come and see one of my, I call them Monday videos, but one of my Tuesday videos. They're gonna come and see while I'm talking about Rover, or if I'm talking about say Wingbits down here, because I pulled a little paper down. What I'm worried about is while I'm talking about Wingbits, somebody's gonna come and say, "Oh, look, he has Nubla on there." So apparently he must approve of Nubla, and that's what I'm worried about at this point. I don't know. Yes, my EarnApp devices are all different IPs. I might have, I might have maybe 2 that occasionally share. Because I have a computer at work that I swap between networks and stuff like that. Um, depending on if I gotta get into this network and get into a couple of different devices, or if I gotta get into this network, get a couple of devices. So I'll flip flop the ports, and depending on, I always try to put it back on the original network, which means they'll be on their own IP. But every now and then, especially like for a weekend or a week if I'm on vacation holiday, every now and then I will leave 2 devices on the same network, and it don't seem to make that much difference. I'm sure the rewards are cut a little bit, but it is what it is. I'm just lucky that I have. Look, I'm paying for them, but I mean, there's a bunch. Like I do have several different devices around the area, or Baton Rouge, or New Orleans, or my sister's house, and different things like that that are on different IPs. Just works out like that. Is what it is. So ATG Natick says Nubila, chop it. ATG Natick says, I have over 1 million Naticks. I feel you, brother. You got it worse than we all do. Because your freaking screen name's got Naticks in it. Naticks can rug pull and screw over everybody. You got to go change your damn YouTube channel name, or YouTube name. All right, so now my videos on Tuesdays are only gonna be 50 minutes instead of an hour, 10 minutes. You know, 375 AI. Look, guys, I know we got it. This is the longest. This is the longest live I've ever had. I appreciate the 10 people who probably fell asleep and left their computers on the channel. They probably walked away and said, "I'm just gonna leave, help Grumpy out, and leave the room and leave the video on." I appreciate those guys, seriously. But anyway, but even like 375 AI, you know, I give updates. Majority of us are just scanning with our phones and our apps, but really the project's supposed to be about these edge things that nobody can afford. What they like 24 grand to put on billboards? You know, I don't want to go down this road again like I did with a bunch of these projects earlier in the video, but how sustainable do we see that? 375 AI was supposed to come out with all these different devices too that didn't cost that much, or that we could all split quarterly. Me and Jay Styles and Milkman and Happy Canadian wanted to go all 25% in on a device. We could do that. You don't hear nothing about that no more. They talked about that during the beginning of testnet. They don't talk about any of that no more. So the 375 AI, do y'all feel all warm fuzzy about that one? I'm getting higher tokens now than I'm getting like quadrupled amount, maybe more quadruple amount of tokens that I was getting. And I'm still making 19 cents a day. 375 go. So after the initial epoch, which had your testnet tokens and all that stuff like that, I think it was, I got 224 tokens each. Epoch 2 was 76. Epoch 3 was 72. Then it took a drastic cut. It then became 23 tokens, 19 tokens, 16 tokens. And this was still during hunting season. So I was still driving every weekend, 2 hours to and from different places. I was taking different ways to the hunting lease, different ways out of the hunting lease, going around some back roads of Mississippi and Louisiana, just so I could get new hexes. And I got 16 effing EAT tokens. And then all of a sudden, Epoch 7, I went from 16 in Epoch 6 to Epoch 7, 80 tokens. Epoch 8, which probably I did the least amount of driving in because hunting season's been over, I got 111 tokens. That's more than I got before Epoch 2. But again, what the hell is this project that's just you driving around and scanning? Chirp's another one. Like, I really, really don't want to cover Chirp. I know a lot of y'all in Cage. I don't like the way the project is heading, but I keep covering it because technically it's not like dead. It's not. It's just disgusting on what we were making a while back and what we're making now. I know I repeat myself from the earlier, but for the new people that came in, like, I just question with Chirp. You keep bragging on all these X posts and Discord posts, and you keep talking about IoT, with IoT network, this IoT and this open door and this flooded room and all this crap like that. But you don't have IoT devices out there to receive them. Access points, whatever you want to call them. Blackbirds. And we looked at it at 44 cents a day. Ain't nobody going to buy a Blackbird that's going to take 1,600 days to ROI on. Think about it. Even if this goes up to $1 a day, let's say it goes back to $1 a day. Are you buying a Chirp Blackbird for 800 days ROI? Or break even? Some people get upset when you use that word ROI. I don't know. I know I'm just rehashing all this stuff, and we've been here a long time. Um, I haven't seen anything from Wingbits about AMA or anything like that. I did see a DM come in that looked halfway intriguing. So, as of right now, 4D Sky, first two HD batches helium deployed were 200 units. After that, 50 units per batch. That should make 650 sold, perhaps. They currently have active 221 devices. $221 active devices. So even if they have 650 sold, some of those might be online, some ain't been delivered yet. So let's just say that is 871 devices. Wingbits currently has 5,500 active devices currently. So Wingbits has nearly 4,800-ish, 700-ish more devices. And again, and they're still trying to compete against the big boys, even with that kind of coverage. I like 40 Sky. I ain't got nothing against them. I think they're busting their butt. They're trying to do what they can do. But again, all the happiness on Discord and all the fanboys and all the stuff like that you can have. But, what's that saying? It's time to, I don't know. I don't know. I'm too tired. But basically, what it comes down to is crunch time is we can all feel positive and happy as we want, but coverage. You know, um, hey, look, I got a 4D Sky miner. Got it set up. Last weekend, we finally had some decent weather for more than a week or two. I can get um, some equipment in my backyard, and I raised my 4D Sky onto my ham tower. So it went from a 10-foot fence pole. I know y'all know I use, if y'all see my videos, that the top rail of the aluminum fencing, top rail makes great antenna mast as long as it's not a real heavy antenna. So that's 10 foot long. 4D Sky was 10 foot high off the ground. Now my 4D Sky is about 35, 40 feet off the ground. Um, so I mean, I don't knock them too much, but I'm just realistic. At $1,000 a device, that's still double what a Wingbits device cost. But all matters also, I guess, what your hex looks like. Just a thought about 2 or 3 things that you really like making money. Then talk about the projects that are questionable or definite rug. Talk about the 2 or 3 that you really like making money. Then talk about the projects that are questionable, definite rug pulls. Then look at the deep pen insights, maybe a little bit crypto news, and just pull some interesting facts. Milkman, I've tried that. Like I tried, I think it was about 3 or 4 videos ago. I said, all right, there's no chapters in this one. I'm just going to go and just jump through some of these different projects and pull the news out, like you said. I still found myself, like, everybody still had 1 or 2 things going on about it in their Discord. And I just felt like I had to kind of discuss it. So that's why I kind of want to remove it from my. And I'm going to tell you, even when I was trying to do videos almost every day, and let's say we had interesting things to do videos on, I'm going to tell you that my Monday videos are still easily my best watched videos, even for runtime, which I can't believe some people, there are people who tell me they watch those videos all the way through. I got people who tell me they watch these lives all the way through. Y'all have some really boring work life or something like that. I couldn't watch it. I'll tell you that right now. I watch Tyler. Tyler's videos are always between 10, 12, 13, maybe a 15, 17-minute video every now and then if he tells too many jokes. But like, I really like George, Cryptos R Us. I cannot watch George. George's videos are an hour long. Can't watch them. I wish I had time to watch them. I don't have time to watch them. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll try some different things and stuff like that. But you know, I could get even more pissed off at some project next week and cut them out again. Cut even more out. Who knows? Silencio with this shenanigan thing going on right now. I don't know. All right, boys and girls. Anything else? Oh, Natick's number one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Natick's pissed me off bad. At the end of the last month, I knew my ranking was bad. My ranking was like 690 something. I needed those challenges with my nitro at the end of the month. And the fact that they put a hold on all those challenges killed me. Not that I would have made much more, but hell, I made. Dude, you can't sit here and talk about Natick's number one. I know you're being sarcastic, but just follow me. You can't sit there and say that Natick's number one and I made 65 cents running it almost every day. Running it in February almost every day. It's that's just crazy. That's including Saturday. The first couple of hours I drove was still February 28th UTC on that, because UTC is when it changes. I drove 350 miles on Saturday. It would have been really nice if that nitro was still there, but it is what it is. I don't mean to kick a dead horse, but it just goes to show you I missed out on a bunch of stuff, and them kind of things piss me off. If you're new to my channel, if everybody else that's on my channel, it's just another day, another day. Somebody just texted me and said they got a drone for $199. Why would you buy that when you can go spend 5 times that and get you one that has ballistic missiles on it to protect your house? Dude, that'd be so cool. You got some fool in a ski mask come around your house about your cars or something like that, pulling on door handles. The next thing you know, they got a drone that takes off and it's laser beaming them. Dude, that would be great. So, whoa. ATG Native. I'm trying to get off of this. We've been going 3 hours and you're going to drop this on me right now? I did not know this. Shut the front door. How do I feel about the founders, Rob and Alex, leaving Demo? Y'all slacking. Y'all supposed to be keeping me up to date on this. Jay Styles, Jay Styles better not still be on here. He's gonna get demerit and get in trouble. When did that happen? Isn't Rob the a-hole that was sitting here being completely rude to people because how dare we not want a subscription that costs 3 times what we were getting in rewards, and we should just be happy that we're part of the Demo project and pay the subscriptions and all that? Isn't he the one that everybody, not just me, I'm not saying that right now by myself, like that was a lot of people's feelings that when they came down a couple of months back about these subscriptions with Demo, that a lot of people said he handled that completely wrong. He came out, um, he came out and he softened it up a little bit later. But originally, when he first came out, he was like, how you know, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm joking, but I'm not joking. But it was like, how dare you want to leave Demo? You know, we were paying for those connections for too long as it was, so you should be wanting to pay them kind of subscriptions. And I'm like, the hell. I keep saying, like, I'm in Demo only because they sit in my vehicles and I ain't got to touch them. Think of all these updates right now. I don't care. I'm in Demo for another 7 months. No, I failed college math. I'm sorry. 11 months and 27 days. Not even that. Jesus Christ. 8 months and 27 days. January 1. It's about when I bought mine. So that's when my subscriptions, free subscriptions, will end on my macarons. But I had no idea. So is that Rob? Is that the one who did that? Is there anything even in the Discord discussing it? Like, is I would say that the token price tanked, but that's been happening. Yeah, Rob Solomon. That's the dude that was a look in real life. He could be sitting next to me in church and a good, honest Christian boy who was cool. But I'm telling you right now, he was a complete prick. And I'll tell him to the face. I don't care. One of these days, I will make a crypto conference somewhere. I'm probably on so many people's hit list. I'm gonna need a bodyguard. But problem is I don't. I'm too old for that shit, and I gotta keep reminding myself. Anyway, so he did an announcement January 3rd, and that was about it. I do find this is like way cleaned up, if that's the word, compared to what it used to be. Um, this dude looks like he's going surfing or some shit. After nearly 5 years with Demo, I'm stepping away from my role. It was really hard to arrive at this decision. Startup journey is one of constant doubt and pain. Making a change is almost impossible. It's uniquely hard to do. In that time, we built. So this came out 5 hours ago, hot off the presses. In that time, we built apps and protocols from the ground up. We established partnership with major enterprises who continue working with Demo going forward, creating infrastructure that powers critical projects. Listen, y'all should be extremely proud of me right now. I'm trying to keep it above board and as respectful as possible in his going out message. That's all I'm gonna say because this is a little anyway. I'll continue working with Demo to ensure continue with key customers projects during this. I'm leaving the company in great hands. Built invaluable relationships with customers and partners around the world during my time at Demo. And okay, let me tell you something. One thing I got to say about LinkedIn, it is the most professional platform out there. You don't see anybody attacking anybody else. You don't see anybody talking negative to anybody else. Like, they got people who are probably seeing some companies like say some complete bullshit on there. And like, this ain't Facebook. Like, they just stay above key. Like, I'm proud of them for whoever it is. So wow, that's fresh. Um, let's see what X says. I can't scroll X when I'm on live because that's just as bad as my Internet history tab. What the hell is this? People, like, this is why we can't afford RAM. We're trying to build computers at work. We can't afford RAM right now. It's because you got people making AI videos like this. Like, like, look at us. All right, hold on. I can't go and scroll my. Let me see if there's anything on X about this. So here's Rob's thing. Rob says, I've stepped down from demo along with Alex. 0 stars. Really? We can't say the real dude's name. Like, at least we ain't got to worry about getting rug pulled. Can't afford the rug. I'm proud of the team platform, and I returned almost half our demo. Alex and I returned almost half our demo tokens to incentivize the people who will carry the project forward from here. We relocked all tokens that had been unlocked, none of which we'd ever sold. I continue to advise. So you worked for free? Is that what you're going to sit there and try to tell us? You worked for free? Or you got a salary and you got your tokens? I mean, vision is unchanged. Cars must become internet. Yet automakers avoid tech that sees their control of others. Blockchain solves that. Original strategy, dependent height, peaked in quarter 1, then faded sharply, causing the flywheel to break. We pursued improving Demo Mobile to make it our ecosystem killer app, growing whatever. I do have to agree with that part, at least to a point. When we talk about that all the time. We recently agreed that best path Demo is the developer platform, meaning serving businesses who use Demo data APIs. 0 stars is the best suited to lead this company. He's a great engineer, understands whatever thoughts on crypto. Crypto is going through tech adoption cycle. I probably like to read this. Our industry liquidated its reputation by pretending launch pads and meme coins were profound tech, and we devoted too much of our investment dollars and talent to some of the dumbest things imaginable. No, I gotta click on it. Fart coin surges to 1. You know what? I think I'd have a drink with this dude. I think I'd have a drink with this dude at just for posting something like this. Many on CT can't see the vision anymore, more like they did in crypto Twitter. Some have been tweeting about the death of red right own, meaning crypto has shown for pain. Yes, those things have not meaningfully merged, but in order to have full confidence, the originally will. This is actually a pretty cool write up. I give him respect for this part. We're plotting through peak crypto disillusionment, but I'm personally just as optimistic. Whatever. Hey man, Demo was top dog at one point. Tell me they weren't. Um, wow. This was released 7 hours ago. Only 4 people have reposted it. Very interested. 0 stars is Demo's ratings. Yes. Linked Rob's statement in my Discord. Thank you. From X on X. I tell you what, I like his whole reflections on crypto thing. I have to, even though I didn't really analyze it. And it's 10 o'clock and I'm exhausted, and my wife's probably wondering what the hell I'm doing in here. Um, just from the brief part I saw, you have to kind of agree with some of that. At least I think so. Um, wow. All right. Well, Jay Styles is fired as my Discord advisor, and now ATG Natix is hired. So I don't know how Jay Styles is going to survive with that loss of income. But ATG Natix, you're rich now because I pay my employees. Uh, no, it was a good read. All jokes aside. Yeah, I don't take back what I said. I'm not that kind of person. I said what I said. When this stuff came down about subscriptions, he was a prick. Does anybody disagree with that? People talked about it. People on Twitter talked about it. People on Discord talked about it. People on YouTube talked about it. He came across rude. He came across like we should be begging to stay. Like people brought up the fact of how, like, because if you remember, he first came out, well, at least he was the spokesperson that came out, and they came out with a subscription platform, and we all lost our crap. We lost it. Like, dude, you're out of your mind. And then they came back later with, hey, we retweaked it to where if you don't want to go to your app and see all the goofy stuff on your vehicle, which never worked on any of my vehicles because I had GMs and my work vehicle. One of my work vehicles I have on was a Ford. Like I didn't have it. Even my daughter's like Camry didn't have it. My wife's Kia shows up as a Hyundai. It took them a week or two to fix that. So if you didn't want to see that, you had a cheaper subscription you could buy. But compared to what I'm making now, it still wouldn't be worth it. But like I said, I have 6 months, 7 months, 8 months left. I don't know why I can't do that math. It'd be curious to see what happens with demo after this. Maybe we don't need to delete demo. Maybe just to keep up what's going on. I don't know. Maybe I need to do a video and say Rob Solomon's leaving Demo and Alex, and wow. Still says Nadix #1. All right. Well, boys and girls, I have not even eaten. I've been home, raining here, started the computer, changed shirts, came back, and started this up, and made me a tea while the countdown was going on. Talked to my wife for 2 minutes while the countdown was going on, and that was it. And I'm starving, and then now it's 10 p.m., and you're like, I'm starving, but what the hell do I want to eat at 10 o'clock at night? I know my dog wants me to eat popcorn because my dog is my best buddy when I have popcorn. She does an awesome job to make sure that if I'm playing Xbox and I have popcorn right here, she makes very sure she's my backup to make sure I don't get in trouble with my wife. Because if I drop anything on the floor, it is picked up with zero evidence it was ever on the floor before I can even look at it. So I know she would rather me eat popcorn, but I made some homemade chili for the first time ever about last weekend. It wasn't the best. It definitely wasn't the worst. It was the first time I tried like 3 or 4 different recipes that I found online. I actually sat there and with a steno pad and said, I took what I liked out of this recipe. I took what I liked out of this recipe. I took what I liked out of this recipe. But somewhere I must have combined something because it was a tad too salty. And it almost came out like even though there wasn't like hardly any tomato stuff in it, it tasted almost like spaghetti sauce with ground meat in it with some chili powder. So we got to tweak it a little bit. I think I might have a little bit of that left. I don't know. Oh, Jesus. I don't want to start dealing with cardiologist crap again. But anyway, that's what sucks when you get old. Who knows? Wingbits TGE might give me the only heart test I need. Hopefully in a positive way. And I can go to this new cardiologist and say, you don't even have to give me no test. Save me my money. Wingbits when TGE, when I saw that price, I give myself a full bill of health. No, I can't give myself a full bill of health because if I'm carrying anything and I'm walking through a parking lot, I can't handle it. So I got something going on. Anyway, Skyline Chili. You'd be surprised how many different types of chilies there are. And I guess I have lived in a cave because I'm a Hormel canned chili person. My hot dogs, if I go somewhere and even me making homemade chili is made for a bowl with some cheese and either some kind of crackers or Frito-Lay chips or something like that. At the hunting camp, that's how we would eat it. when people would make it and stuff like that. That chili does not belong on a hot dog. Hot dogs get Hormel chili. If I go to somebody's party and they got some kind of weird ass chili there, it's mustard. And if anybody serves them red hot dogs, you belong in jail. Probably with the electric chair. And I have my grumpy niece that y'all see every now and then that comes on here and makes goofy jokes and stuff like that until I ban her and I get in all kinds of trouble from her. I have raised her right that she will text me from a party at college and say, look what they got. They got red hot dogs. And I'm like, you might as well just leave. You don't need that negativity in your life. You don't know what else kind of poison they're trying to give you also. So no red hot dogs. No way. So now that we went over my hot dog and chili, that's what I need to go make. It's fast and quick. I don't know. All right. Thank y'all again. Thank y'all for those who hung around for 2 hours and 13 minutes. And, that's a lot of ads y'all had to watch. And I'm sure that I'll get my $1.17 revenue from y'all being stuck watching these goofy ads. So thank y'all. Look, I'd like to sit in and say I'm doing a video, but I don't want to lie to y'all. I'm honest. I just sat here for 2 hours, so y'all honest they are. Let's see what Thursday looks like. Kind of like, when I do a meeting at the state, we sit there at the end of the meeting discussing when's our next meeting and what's it going to be at and time and stuff like that. No softball game, so we're good to go. There will be another live Thursday at 7 p.m. Hopefully, which I don't mind, I joke, but I know somebody will make a comment tomorrow morning and say, man, can you at least put chapters in there for 3 hours? There's no way I can go back. Could you imagine me going back right now and trying to figure out 3 hours worth of chapters? I'm all over the place. This is what happens when Adderall wears off and you got ADD. Like, we talk about this, and the next thing you know, we're talking about hot dogs. Then we're talking about Rob Solomon. So I appreciate it again. Appreciate it. Look, every now and then I still get somebody purchasing something. Helium deploy really ain't got that much unless you buying a solo miner or something like that, or a 4D Sky device. It is what it is. Even my secondary business website's down. Amsoil swapped to new web servers, a web company and stuff, and I haven't even had a chance to even set that up. Like, I'm just busy. It's just slamming busy. Always something. So, all right, I'm out of here. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate it. Y'all hit the like button on the way out. Somebody get the lights on the way out, and I'm out.